everyone, welcome back to my next video. We're making a new friend today, Jessica. Hi Jessica, welcome to the channel.
Hi Bob, thank you for having me.
And you have a unique nomad life. You have combined the best, I think, of the best of both worlds, of being a home and a nomad also. How are you doing that?
Well, I live and work in Miami, Florida, and my husband and I, we travel with the van part-time. So what we do is we traveled with the van and we leave it in a storage facility, and then we fly back home, and whenever we have a 3-day weekend or some time off, as much as we can grab, we fly back out to the van, pick up where we left off, and we've been doing it for 2 years now, off and on.
That is really unique. But I guess a lot of people would say, well, how can you afford all that airfare?
Well, my husband does work for an airline, so we do travel for free.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps, but it's still doable because there have been times where we've had some scheduling conflicts and we've had to get my husband a one-way to come out, and you can pick him up for 50, 60 bucks depending what airport you fly into, and you know, it's not so bad. And the storage is actually pretty cheap. I usually try to find places that have the first month free. That always helps. In other cases, I found them between 25 to 70 bucks a month, which is still fairly affordable.
Yeah.
We used to travel once, maybe twice a year and rent a car and do the hotel thing. But we could only afford to do it once or twice a year because the car rental and hotel was so expensive. And the other problem with that is when you're going for a week, you budget yourself and find the cheapest hotel, and sometimes the cheapest hotels, you never know. Yeah, it could be a nightmare. So it's much more comfortable in the van. You have your own bed, you have your things. Another thing, if you do have to pay airfare, you don't have to travel with any checked luggage, which helps. You can take the low fare airlines. And I just travel with a backpack and my dog, and that's it, because we have everything in the van. Right. Yes, but it's been great. I mean, we've been doing it for 2 years now, and you know, we don't see any end in sight. You know, we're gonna try to do it as long as we can, as often as we can.
And you're young, and that can be, you know, that's decades.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a real good solution because when I was watching your videos and other videos as well, I have a job and I have other family obligations that I can't completely leave, but I felt a longing to be a nomad, so I tried to find this balance, and something struck me that, hey, I can keep my van in a storage place.
Right.
And I can just fly out. It just dawned on me, and so we just started doing that, and it's been wonderful.
Good. I'm delighted that you're willing to share your story with others, because there are a lot of people out there. I think the majority of my audience are not actually out on the road, and this is an opportunity for them to find that wonderful balance. Well, why don't we take a look around inside your van?
Okay. Well, she's a 98 GMC Savana. She's not custom or anything like that because as soon as I got her, I just wanted to get on the road and go. So I took out the seats. I put a foam mattress on the stock bench. There's a bench that folds down. Threw my clothes in and I went. And then as I traveled along, I would go to the Goodwill and pick this up or that up. And you know, it's true what they say, if you want to get out and go, just get out and go, because you will figure it out along the way. If you hesitate or you wait, you know, that's time wasted where you could be on the road enjoying your life.
Right.
So these vans are becoming more and more difficult to find, but the deals are still out there. I picked her up for $3,000. I did have to drive a few hours to go get her, but it's definitely worth it. So the deals are still out there. Might take you a little longer, but they're still out there. Let's go inside. So inside, I bet you guys know what this is used for.
I am familiar.
Works great, not a problem. And if you're using it inside the van with the doors open, you have a wonderful view.
Yes.
As you're using it.
No one in the world has a better view.
This is a catch-all that I got from the Goodwill as well. And I keep my cooking supplies in here, extra water. This water is not really water that I drink. This water is really for the dog or for washing dishes. This is what I use for washing dishes. This, not only do I wash dishes with this, but I also use this to wash up and take a bath.
Right.
It's really handy. This thing is like worth its weight in gold, although it doesn't weigh much, but definitely valuable.
That's exactly how I do it.
I bought this from Amazon. You can find these at the Goodwill too, but I bought mine on Amazon because I wanted a specific layout of compartments. And so I keep some soap here. This is really handy because the mesh lets it dry out, and then I'll get my water and I'll wash my hands outside the van. Usually just drip dry or dry them on my pants. I have one of these. This is very handy when you're camping. This is extremely handy when you're camping. This lets you plug into a 30 amp campsite and then plug in a regular plug there.
That's very handy. Yeah.
And believe it or not, these are not easy to find. I had to order it online. I don't even think I could find it in Home Depot or something, but if you get one of these, get two, because if you lose them and you actually need power, you're gonna be disappointed. So I have this is my dirty clothes in here. I have my dirty clothes. This is for women in the night, middle of the night deal. Some extra water, shoes. So whenever I'm in a campground and I need power, what I do is I have a 50-foot extension cord and I run it out these windows. You see these windows, when they pop open, it just opens at the bottom, which is really handy.
That is.
And you just run the cable through there right into here, and it'll go into this box right here. And once it's in this box, I have all my DC and my USB outlets here. It tells you the battery capacity. This is another Amazon buy. Then on the other side, it has it's a 500 watt inverter built into it, and I have 3 plugs here. This is the incoming, and also I connect this to solar as well. So I have 3 ways of charging it: the car, the 12 volt in the car, the solar, and then the extension cable. And this usually runs everything I need. Since I'm doing this on and off part-time, this is more than enough for my power needs, really. So this is the solar panel. This is 120 watt.
Yeah.
Very small, very thin, so you can, put it just about anywhere. And it's been great. It has all the cables. It also has the charge controller built into it here. It's just a regular, one of those Chinese knockoff charge controllers, but for what I use it for, it works great. This used to be underneath here, and I used to keep my food in there because I had heard that people have had hard times with rodents getting into their food. So I would keep it here in the cooler. I haven't had that problem, thankfully. I found this gem at a Goodwill for $5, and it just fit perfect for my space. And this is much easier because when I was getting my food out of here, I had to lift this, put it on the bed, and then get my food. Now I can just grab my food, and I don't have to move. I don't have to move anything. So this holds all my food, and eventually I want to fill it with stickers from different places that I've been to. This thing I got in the Goodwill as well. You can tell I shop a lot at the Goodwill, but when you're doing this, there's no sense in spending a whole lot of money. So this is one of those trunk organizers. I just have some junk and odds and ends. And then in here I have packing cubes for my clothes. I've seen other nomads use this as well. It compresses your clothes so that it keeps them flat. You can actually fit a lot of items in here. Yeah. And then I like the different colors because I know that this color has shorts in it. This color has shirts in it. So I know which one to grab, and then I can just throw them in there.
Here, is this an air conditioner?
Yes, sir. This is an air conditioner. I bought this secondhand for $100. Works like a charm. It's been working fine the last 2 years. When I get to a campground, I've only used it like twice because it's not really that hot at night, because I usually go north to Montana or somewhere in the mountains. However, there can be a hot spell that comes through, and you might need it. And I figure for $100, I'd rather have it than have to go spend $100 at a hotel because it's too hot to camp. So when I bought the van, it did come with the TV. That remote controls for that TV. And behind the TV, I don't know if you could see it, there is an inverter. I think it's a 750 watt. and there's a switch in there. The guy who had it before, he did all this, and I just turn on the switch and then turn on the inverter, and I can watch the TV. And then behind here, this is the heater, that black thing in there, and that's a 1500 watt heater. Of course, you need to be at a campground for that, but that 1500 watt heater will make this van 80 degrees and 17-degree weather. So at first I didn't know if it would really heat the van, but it does a really good job. 2 sets of seats that fit in this van. There's 2 captain's chairs that clip into here, so I took those out. And then the back bench folds out into a bed, and I left that there because, like I said, I didn't want to waste too much time you know, revamping it. I just wanted to get in there and go. So I found this mattress on OfferUp. I don't know, it's maybe 4 or 5 inches thick. And I got it for like $50, which is a steal. And I just put that on top of, there's the bench seat under there.
All right, so it ends a little early.
Yeah, so when I got this thing and I switched it, I put it here so it gives it a little bit more stability there. This is a full-size bed. It's not a queen, it's a full.
And you're easily able to stand up in here.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted, because if you're gonna, although I don't do this full time, I do want to do it as often as possible with as much comfort as possible. I'm only 5'1", so I still have a few inches. My husband is 5'10", and he does have to duck a little bit, but it's not too bad. Besides, he's usually laying in the bed relaxing while I'm the one fixing and doing everything anyway.
That's kind of the way it works, isn't it?
Yeah, that's usually how it ends up, right? So up here, like I said, this is all stock. Up here I have my toiletries. These are my toiletries. These are his toiletries. And this is some undergarments for me there. This is some things for my husband, socks. I have some dishwashing, clothes, laundry stuff in there. And then in the back there, I have like cool weather jackets, things that I don't use very often. Towels, because you got to have towels when you go take a shower. We do shower. If we're going on a 3-day trip, we shower once and then just do a French bath or whatnot, clean up in between. Mm-hmm. So I have one of these.
Mm-hmm. Just a little single burner.
Single burner. I set it up there on the plastic just so it has kind of like, I don't know, I just set it here because it's better than having it on the carpet. And I just cook, and I have the windows open and let all the smells and humidity go out. And then I put it away and clean up, and that's pretty much it there. It's a good time. It's a good time. Anybody who is trying to maintain a job, or maybe you have a family member that you're taking care of back home, or you know, maybe you have part-time custody of children that you can't leave necessarily, then this is a great way to enjoy both, where, let's say, for example, if you have part-time custody of children, you have them one weekend, and then the next weekend you could go on your trip. So, you know, this idea is really for people who have a longing in their heart for this sort of lifestyle and this adventure, but have other constraints, and it's a great way to just balance the both. The other thing I want to mention is when I am leaving the van in the storage and I fly back home, sometimes it could be a couple months before I get to come back out. So what I've learned is I have a solar powered trickle charger, because before I was coming back and my van wouldn't start. So I put the trickle charger in the window there, and it works like a charm. It's my van.
Very good. You've made a wonderful home.
Oh, her name is Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Vanessa.
Yeah. And your husband enjoys it, the traveling?
Yes. He I was a travel bug before, and so I kind of introduced him to it. I wasn't sure how he would feel, but you know, I always joke with him because he's one of these guys. He already takes a shower, like, he's gonna kill me for saying this, but he only takes a shower like once every other day anyway. So I'm like, well, you fit in perfect to van life, and I tease him and stuff. But no, he does like it. He loves the adventure, and now that his son is getting a little bit older, he's introducing more of the outdoors to his son, because if you live in a big city and you're not really exposed to this, you don't really know what to expect. So, you know, I grew up in the city too, and when I did start traveling many years ago, I realized this is amazing. This is amazing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your home. It's
Mm.
really amazing. It's what
Thank you.
you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So folks, I know you got a lot out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.